Hello, and welcome to the Astrolabe tutorial series. In this video, I will explain how to use NA values to perform conditional analysis in Astrolabe. It is often the case that the statistical analysis of one feature of your experiment may depend on another. For example, you may want to examine the time point or stage of infection as it relates to whether the patient is control or treatment. To demonstrate how this works, let's look at this chikungunya study, which was done by the Human Immune Project Consortium. In this study, pediatric patients who were sick with chikungunya virus came to a clinic in Nicaragua, and samples were required in both their acute and convalescent stages of infection. The goal of the study was to compare the immune system between the two time points. Now, there is another feature identified in this study, and that is gender. So it could be interesting to also determine the impact gender may have on the immune response of these patients. To enable us to do that, we have added two other features, M time point for our male patients and F time point for our female patients. Both of these features use the same data as time point, except you can see we've added the command NA when we want to exclude a sample from analysis. So for M time point, we have used NA for our female patients, and for F time point, we have used NA for our male patients. When we look at the cell subset navigator, which is a composite view of the experiment, and examine time point, we can easily see one of the main conclusions of this study, which was that there was a large variation in classical monocytes between the two time points. If we scroll down, we can see in this box plot that the median frequency in the acute stage is 26.4%, and in the convalescent stage, 11.8%. But what happens when we examine this immune response by gender? Let's look at our male time point feature, which remember is the same as time point, but we have just excluded our female samples by using the NA keyword. We can see the difference is a bit more pronounced here, with a median frequency in the acute stage of 26.6% and 12% in the convalescent stage. If we look at the female patients, the median frequency in the acute stage is 22.1% and 14.2% in the convalescent stage. So in general, we can see that the trend is the same, but in a way the change is less pronounced for our female patients, and that is true in both directions. The response in the acute phase is smaller, and it also wanes to a lesser degree in the convalescent phase. We can make some hypotheses about this. It could be that the immune response in female patients is weaker or delayed, or that the baseline innate cells are higher following infection. At this point, though, these are just hypotheses, though they may raise questions for possible follow-up studies. Thanks for listening, and remember, if you have any questions about the Astrolabe platform, you can always email us at support@astrolabediagnostics.com.